This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake your body.
Wake your fuck ass up.
That crust y'all.
Oh, man.
Classic.
Classic. The Mummy.
Woo!
Hands down, one of my favorite trilogies to watch. Hands down, Rick O'Connell. That character is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, thank you.
Which hands down make this one of the funnest actors, one of my favorite actors to watch, who's here with us today, the one and only, ladies. DB, do the honors.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yo, man, how you doing? Man, you're very humble in your acceptance speech right now, man.
That was like a great spot, that Rachel Weisz. I was just mesmerized by her voice. I think she could have been reading stereo instructions on how to run Sirius, and we all would have been captivated.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, y'all chemistry was special too, man, right?
She's a wonderful actress. If you like talent, you know.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, in that trilogy, man, I'm a guy who grew up watching Frankenstein and, Dracula and, Godzilla, King Kong and, the Mummy, the old school black and white mummies. And so whenever people remake those old films, I'm always on the fence like, geez, are they going to blow it? Man, y'all took it to another level, bro.
Well, thanks. That was funny because back at the time, we had no idea if it was going to be a straight-ahead action picture or a horror film or a comedy or what. And speaking of Rachel, I can remember her saying, "Oh no, they're going to confiscate our equity cards," which I think meant there wasn't enough scenery enough there for us to eat.
Yeah.
But it came out, and as it turns out, people still have a love affair with that genre, that epic adventure. All of those things: comedy, action, horror, thrill ride movie.
Yeah.
And I understand some guy called
Thomas
Cruises? Something like that.
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. When you say his name, you got to apply. Tom Cruise, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I think he's on board to do another one, which is awesome.
Yeah. That is awesome.
A lot of people are upset about it, though.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen on Twitter because they're like, "Where the hell is Brendan?"
Brendan has been having a life and raising kids. Got a horse.
Ooh!
What else have I been up to? Doing a TV show called The Affair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Recently.
Sundays, 10 p.m. I was just watching. I missed last Sundays because I was where was I?
Japan or Tokyo?
No, I was in Los Angeles. Okay, and I got a chance because I knew you were coming on. I said, "Oh shit, let me watch what I missed," because you've been playing this real insane, perverted, psychotic, revengeful, hater type character named Gunther, right?
No, let's just give Gunther a chance.
Even the name Gunther just sounds like an asshole.
Right?
Like, Gunther.
They were right on target with the idea of a slow burn in the arc of the show. Fans of it will remember that Dominic's character has been slightly cheeky and for his own perceived misdeeds has thrown himself in jail. So I'm his corrections officer at the time who claims to know him from his high school days and couldn't be more delighted that he's now got his man crush behind the very bars that he holds the keys to unlock.
Is that how you characterize it, as a man crush? Because Gunther Heather, Noah Soloway is the main character, and he has an affair. Mm-hmm. And somebody gets killed. The brother-in-law of the mistress that he's having an affair with gets killed. He's in jail, and this Gunther character, when you first came on the scene, it was almost like you thought he was a friend from high school. Then it turns out that it seems like he's a nemesis. Did they used to swim against each other or something?
Oh, gosh. You're really very personal. Sarah Treem, the creator and producer, would be very proud that you're that perceptive. I think, without giving away too much, rather than nemesis, doppelganger might be more appropriate.
Okay. Wow.
But I'm careful to not spoil anyone's enthusiasm for it by letting you know where all the dark and sticky places that this could go.
We do a segment called Jail Tales on this show where we just bring up like crazy stories from prison and people call up and tell about their experiences behind bars. So in the research for this character, did you find out anything wild about how inmates and COs kind of like correlate?
Funny you ask. The first film I ever did was with Martin Sheen. It was in Pittsburgh. Before I was known as Encino Man. And
hey, Link.
Hi. Thanks. Ooh, is it just? You got it. I did it.
Thank you.
Happy.
Yes.
Get that everywhere he goes.
I like Brendan.
I embrace it. It was either that or scream at the top of my lungs and throw myself into a tree. What were we talking about? Jail, right?
Yes.
And yeah, I worked in a jail there, so that freaked me out and made me think, well, be good for the rest of your life because this is not a place you really want to hang out too long unless you're allowed to leave. Where we worked was in Valhalla. The warden, the staff, everyone were. I couldn't say anything other than nothing but professional and friendly, and they really, from what I could tell, were happy to be in a process of helping reform people to, effectively turn their lives around. But it's also, in a way, to me, positive that we were working on an actual empty jail cell block, and it was empty for the reason being that the prison population was down, so they rented it out, I guess, to keep the lights on or something. I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
No, I can't make this up.
The prison population is down somewhere in the United States.
That's what he told me there. So
Progress.
anyway, it's a good movie set, I suppose, in many ways. But when those doors go slam shut, it's not a nice sound, especially if you're on the inside of it.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Anybody in here ever been to prison?
I did an overnighter one time, but that's not even close to like prison. That just sucks.
Yeah. Brandon, you never been to prison? No?
Just in the movies and TV.
Okay. Not in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was enough for me to keep it on the straight and narrow.
All right. Brendan.
45.
Right.
45 miles an hour, stay alive. Yeah.
There it is. Brendan Fraser is here. Look, if you watch The Affair, you want to talk with him, man. If you've been a big fan of all the great movies that he's done, 888-742-3345. Sway in the morning. Yeah, man. If you haven't got up on the Affair, this is a really interesting series, a great approach to this series. You see different perspectives from the characters' lenses. One of the newer characters goes by the name of Gunther, played by Brendan Fraser, who's with us right now.
Hello.
Heather, you looking at Brendan right now?
Yeah, because he's creeping me out. He sounds creepy. His like,
I like
everything. You love it, Tracy. You're a creep.
Yeah. Self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
I was doing my best to sort of lurk in the shadows. Most conversations in production were like, he's such a nice guy. I don't know if we can get him to be really weird.
Damn.
Oh, he'll do it.
And Heather just says he's creepy.
It's creepy, y'all, for real. And I know you're an actor and a great actor, but how do you like go like have a beer or like go to Six Flags or something before you go home with your kids to try to like turn it off before you walk in the house? It's like, Dad, how do you turn it off?
It's a job. I mean, yeah. In this case, it was to put on a corrections officer outfit and go to jail each day and make life miserable for Dominic's character.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just what happens. But you mentioned that there is a prism that this television show is revealed through in each of the characters' stories, and it's in many ways a meditation on really what is the truth. You know, we see things from so many different perspectives, and it explores that. So for that reason, there might be a bit of a magic trick going on, a sleight of hand of sorts, where you think that this individual is one way, whereas you may be surprised if I've done my job right. As we watch and go along, maybe his character will learn a thing or two that could inform how he writes his next novel, what he does when he finally gets out on the outside. He's, at the moment, quite paranoid because there was an incident involving
stabbing in the neck.
An attack. Let's call it.
A stabbing in the neck.
And detectives are running around asking people for alibis. So let's just see where Gunther crops up next.
Right, Brendan Fraser.
Since Heather was bringing up being creeped out or whatever, in your adult life, when's like the last time you were truly scared?
In the car ride in. I was afraid I was going to be late. And then I saw that right at the sign, it said this highway is, well, I'm going to say, it's owned by Donald Trump. Right in front of his buildings. And, okay, enough. I won't go there. But when have I been really scared? Not for my life in the way that Dominic's character is. I think everything I need to know is right there on the page. And you do what you got to make the scene happen. And there's a big difference between working in feature films and what's now new to me, and it's a privilege to be invited to join an ensemble cast and I think very winning and talented cohesive actors in an award-winning series. The Affair has
Golden Globe Award, Best Television Series.
It's had resonance for many people for many different reasons that maybe are also sort of dark places that people don't necessarily want to talk about amongst one another, but are happy to see played out as a drama.
The sex scenes are awesome too.
I wasn't involved in any of those particularly, but I do have TV, and I'm pleased by what they're able to achieve.
Those great actors and actresses, right? Yeah.
When we watch.
Brendan Fraser's here. We got Deandra on the line from California.
Hey, Deandra.
What up, D?
Hi, Sway. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, Brendan. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
Your movies were one of my favorite from my childhood, The Mummy, Bedazzled, and I just saw Encino Man last weekend with my husband, and we were cracking up. I just want to say keep doing what you're doing, and you have a lot of fans. And thanks, everyone.
Well, thanks, Deandra. That's sweet.
Hey, you check out The Affair, too, on Sundays, 10 p.m., Deandra. It's a good show, man. Get caught up in it. Elise is on the line from Fort Worth. What's up, Elise?
Hey, Elise.
Hi.
Hi.
I absolutely love all the movies that you're in. Like, my favorite would be The Mummy, but I love Encino Man and stuff, and you are one of my favorite actors. In fact, one of my all-time favorites is Monkey Bone.
Wow.
Wow. She dug deep.
That I understand that was, and thank you for that. And hello, Fort Worth. I understand that was one of the fewer seen or less seen films that I've made, although I think the all-in budget probably rivaled Titanic's. So I think pound for pound, all you movie buffs out there, it might have been the most expensive art house film ever made.
Wow. So does that make it a flop?
You'd have to talk to the guys who are in accounting about that one. As far as I'm concerned, I want my award.
Okay. All right. All right. We're going to take you, Elise. We're going to go to Canada. Chris, what up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
What up, Sway? How you doing, brother?
You sound like you're in Canada.
I'm driving, my man.
You're driving across the tundra.
Hands-free.
Okay, well, turn the heat up. Hit me. What you got? You said,
All right. Sorry about that. I apologize. I just want to say you're an underrated actor, man. I love Encino Man. Definitely underrated movie.
Thank you, first of all, as a fellow Canadian. I appreciate that, and as we all acknowledge each other. When do we get to the part where we start saying we're sorry?
True enough. And I just want to give a shout out to Sway, man. I love your show, and Heather B, I love your voice. Definitely love your voice.
Wow, thank you, man. I love when Canadians call, man. They're the nicest people on the planet, man. I swear. Yeah. Hey, man, you're a citizen, man.
I swear in the morning, Chris.
Hey, Brendan, before you leave, man, we got this game we created especially for you, and it's called
Clear Up the Facts.
Nowadays, you really can't believe anything you read on the internet. So we're hoping you can help us clear up the facts right here on Sway in the Morning.
Okay, I just put on my big boy underpants. Hit me.
All right, ready? All right. While filming Looney Tunes Back in Action, you were scared to punch pro wrestler Goldberg in a scene.
Yes, I was scared he was going to punch me back. You see the size of that guy? He just went, just hit me. I was like, really? Do it. It's what I do for a living. All right. Do it harder. I'm like,
Do it harder.
and then of course I'm like, ah, my hand. Accurate, yes.
Nice. Okay, you played the caveman Link in Encino Man, but made cameos as Link in 2 other Pauly Shore movies. How did that happen?
Guilty. I mean, I did it. Yes. I got a call it, buddy. I got a movie. You want to come and be in it? I like, well, I'm kind of trying to have a career. So at the age,
Damn.
Get to know Polly. It's all right. Hi, Polly. I did cameos. Yes.
All right. While filming the hanging scene in The Mummy, you almost died.
True. No, I didn't almost. Well, I'm still here, but I'm told that I was definitely choked out. And the thump to the ground started my heart again. It was really weird. If you were to reach for the volume switch, all you listeners out there right now, just dial it down slowly. That's what the experience was like. Just going, and that's what happened. So, yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay, one last question.
One last one. All right. I heard that you almost got the role of Dr. Reed Richards, a.k.a. Mr. Fantastic and Fantastic Four.
Hey, no one ever told me about that. What? I want my money back.
We're good.
There you go. Clear up the facts, Brendan Fraser. All right. Brendan, thank you for coming by.
It's my pleasure.
Man,
Thank
great
you so
having
much.
you here, man. The affair airing Sundays, 10 p.m. Eastern on Showtime. Make sure you watch it. We got Get in the Game up next, and then we're going to play back our interview we did with our good friend Alan Thicke. Rest in peace. And that'll be coming up shortly. Did you know Alan Thicke at all?
Not personally, no. But
yeah.
Was a big fan.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man.
For sure.
That's all up next. Sway in the morning.
It's Sway in the morning. Only on Shea 45.